Hey guys, Dead3 here back once again, and tonight I'm actually doing the first in a series of new videos that I'm doing called Classic Horror Reviews. And basically in this series I'm going to be talking about horror films that are considered true classic movies. You know, movies that everyone has seen, movies that everybody already talks about and things like that. And basically I want to give my own personal thoughts on them and things like that. And of course, throughout this entire series, pretty much every single movie that I talk about, probably everyone has already seen. But basically, I want to give my own personal thoughts on each of these classic films, and tell you guys why I think that they're classics and why I think that everybody who's a horror fan should see them. So I'm going to go and get started. The movie that I chose for the first classic horror review is from 1974, and it stars Sissy Spacek, and it's based on the classic novel by Stephen King, and that is Carrie. This is a VHS copy of it that I have. And I'm not really going to get into a lot about what the film is about. I'm more going to talk about, my personal thoughts on it. But I'm going to go ahead and give a bit of an outline. Basically, Sissy Spacek plays this girl named Carrie, who's this, she's a high school student, and she's considered an outcast for being very different. And, she's ridiculed by all the other girls. She's not really, she has no self-confidence whatsoever. She walks around with her hair down on her face, and she just walks around all lonely and everything like that. She doesn't talk to hardly anybody because, like I said, everybody thinks that she's a freak in this movie, and she's, and basically, she's antisocial simply because, no one's really nice to her at the school. The only person that really shows her any respect is the gym teacher, and, she has she has a lot of trouble coping with society and coping with what goes on around her. At the beginning of the film, there's a scene where she's in the locker room and she's taking a shower, and she starts to have her period, and so she starts bleeding everywhere and all over her hands and things like that. And she doesn't understand what a period is because her mother did not explain it to her. So she basically starts running around yelling for people to help her because she thinks that she's bleeding to death. And basically, the girls on there, they torture her in the worst way. They start throwing tampons at her and trash and stuff, and are making fun of her completely. The girls in this movie are very cruel, and I could really identify with Carrie just then because back when I was in high school, I was bullied a lot for being different. I was bullied for my disabilities and whatever not, and liking different things, and I could really identify with Carrie, her character, Sissy Spacek, her character in the film, because there were points where I would just walk around with my head down, just not talking to anybody, not wanting anybody to talk to me. Excuse me. But basically, that's who Carrie is. She's a very shy, bashful person who never really talks to anybody because the girls in this movie, they make fun of her so much. Everybody does. In the entire school, everybody thinks she's pretty much a freak. Even the principal, because at one point, the school coach is basically talking, the gym teacher is basically talking to the principal, trying to have the girls that, threw tampons on her and stuff get her in trouble, and he keeps calling her Cassie. And she basically gets angry with him and causes a ashtray to fall. And basically she has, the twist in the film is that she has telekinetic powers, where if she concentrates on something a lot, she can basically move it with her mind. But she tries her best to keep that, under wraps. No one really knows about it until nobody knows about it until the very end of the film, but, she has this problem. She has this. She doesn't really know if it's a problem or not, but she still uses it a lot, and and that's pretty much her thing that she feels leaves her apart from everyone else. Another cool thing is that P.J. Souls is actually in it. She plays one of the high school students that pretty much bullies Carrie throughout the whole film. But basically, the gym teacher tells the girls that if they continue to mess with Carrie, they won't be able to go to prom. And so, of course, they all want to go to prom, and they basically want to get back at Carrie, and they want to do her, cause her as much pain as they can. So what they do is that they tell this guy to ask her to go to prom, where they will basically do a horrible prank on her. I don't want to get into what the prank's about, but basically the cover of the movie basically gives it away. But that's pretty much the basic storyline of it. Now I'm going to go ahead and get into basically what the film is about. First of all, the movie, it battles between one of the things about the film is I think it's supposed to show corruption of how religion can be very corrupting in some ways, because Carrie's mother is actually super religious throughout the entire film, and she thinks that everything in the whole film is a sin. She thinks that talking to boys is a sin, watching TV is a sin, and she basically just tries to keep her daughter, Carrie, just basically away from the world. And whenever she thinks that Carrie has done something wrong, she'll hit her and then she'll lock her into a closet. And she, and like I said about having her period, her mother didn't even explain to her what her period was. And so basically just having that overbearing mother telling her, everything you're doing is a sin, plus all the kids bullying her, you can tell is why she's really, sad and lonely throughout the entire film. But the idea of bullying is in a lot of films, and I've dealt with it a lot. And basically, this entire film, I think, is sort of like an anti-bullying. Well, I think Stephen King's novel is sort of like more of an anti-bullying thing, because honestly, this happens to kids all the time. This happens in high schools. Like, there are kids that are told, by everyone around them that they're, worthless and useless. And I've been through it, and I felt very worthless and useless throughout the entire last year of my high school, and it does happen. And this is what really causes some kids to commit suicide. And I know it's a sad thing to think about, but yeah, this really does. And basically, this is just pretty much just, I guess the geek getting revenge in a way, in the best way. I'm going to go back into it. The film is also, I don't want to say artistic, but it's filmed in a very cool way, to where everything is really slow at the beginning of it. Like, at the beginning of it, there's a shower scene, and you pretty much see girls walking around nude the entire time, and it's very slow and pacing in a way, and it looks really well done. Even though it's just a bunch of girls talking, you can't hear what they're saying, but that's pretty much one thing that happens, is that the camera's really well. Also, the music is actually pretty well, too. Like, there's scenes, like, when you just see Carrie and she's alone, the music is it's got a good tune to it. It's really peaceful, and I think that's what they're trying to paint, Carrie as. They're trying to say, that she's just pretty much this innocent girl who doesn't deserve any of what's going on around her, and, just throwing her into this evil world. Also, after the prank that they pull on her during prom, when she ends up using her telekinetic powers at the end of telekinetic power. I can't even pronounce anything today. Sorry. Her telekinetic powers at the end of the film. I'm not going to tell you what she actually does, but there's a scene where she's just standing there, and she has her eyes just wide, and she's not even moving at all, and it just looks so creepy the way it's done. And then right when this happens, there's a split. There's a split in the screen, and on one side of the screen you see what's happening to the crowd in front of her, and on the other side you pretty much just see her, and she's just standing there, and basically she's using her telekinetic powers to slam the windows shut and lock all the doors. And it's really cool because it's also in, like, there's like a red tint, because she also knocks out the lights, and it's in a red tint, and it looks really cool. It looks almost like dark blood red. And it's a very, very effective way of doing it, and it's very cool. It really puts you on edge, and it's a really creepy thing. This is one of the creepiest movies I've seen. Another note: John Travolta is in it. There's a picture of him right here. He's pretty much one of the people that tortures Carrie, but he's kind of like an idiot. Like, this is the only movie I've seen John Travolta in where I did not like him. Like, his character, he was really stupid. And even the girl and his girlfriend, like, keeps saying, keeps calling him a dumb shit, and he's like, don't call me that, and he slaps her. So of course you're like, well, she'll move, but no. In the movie, she stays. This is kind of getting off topic. Why do girls stay with their boyfriends if their boyfriends is beating them? Why do women do this? Please explain that to me. Same thing with guys. Why do guys stay with their girlfriends if their girlfriends are treating them like shit? You know, that's just my own view. Like I said, I'm just giving my own views on the film. But I mean, he pretty much slaps her, and of course she ends up, you know, getting her. But basically, he is one of the people that is basically the reason for doing the prank. And yeah, his character, like I said, not very likable. No one's really likable in the film. Even the only character in the whole film that you would enjoy is Carrie. She's really the only true character. I mean, you like the gym teacher, the gym coach for a little bit, but then at the end of the movie, you realize she's just like all the others. And yeah. So what else? I think that's pretty much it. You know, like I said, the whole film is, in my opinion, a true horror classic. I think everyone should see this film who hasn't seen it yet. Like I said, great acting, great effects with the telekinetic powers, especially for 1976. It's got great effects with it. You know, there's good creepy moments, good music. You know, just top-notch horror film. So anyway, if you guys have not seen Carrie, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's truly a horror classic in my opinion, and truly one that I think everyone should see. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that everyone has already seen this film, but I just wanted to go ahead and give my own views on it, and you know, talk about what I thought of the film and what it's about. It's really a great film. Also, another thing is that it was directed by Brian Depalma, I think, who did the Untouchables and several other films. That's another good thing. Both Sissy Spacek and Nancy Allen, they both actually got nominated for Oscars in this film, which was really cool. You know, and Sissy Spacek's performance, I think, deserves an Oscar for his films, and it was really her performance, and it was great. But anyway, guys, like I said, if anyone wants to see this, I think everyone should see this. Carrie, check it out. Sorry this video is not really great. My throat's really bothering me right now, and I'm really tired, kind of out of it. Had a long day, but yeah. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. That's my review and my thoughts on the film Carrie. Definitely recommend checking this out for anyone who hasn't seen it, and for everyone who has, let me know what you guys think about it. Do you think it's, you know, what are your thoughts on the film? Do you think it's just as good as, you know, all your good classic horror films? And what is your favorite Stephen King adaptation? What movie do you think is, you know, what is your favorite film based on a Stephen King book? You know, because this is definitely in my top ones. Probably one of my favorite Stephen King stories. You know. But anyway, guys, that was my first horror classic review for Carrie. I'll be sure to be doing a lot more of these classic horror review episodes in the future. And yeah, so anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and happy Easter, everyone. I'll see you guys later.